class. Let me once again, I love to preface every online class by saying I have no affiliation with CSEC. I do not know what's going to come on the exam. I am a classroom teacher, author. So with that said, I am going to take a minute just to, as usual, because this is online and so many things can happen. Take a minute as usual just to check to ensure that I can be heard, and just to give everyone a chance to join. All right, so I see a few persons. Thank you for joining again. See a few persons back. I see a few persons. Thank you for joining. Just taking the time to join, to just share the links myself before we continue. If you have any questions based on what we were doing previously, please type. You can also take this opportunity to share the link with someone you know who needs it. This is specifically designed for grade 10 students who are in grade 10. Fourth form, this is what this is designed for. So, on that note, let's begin. Now, previously, just to recap, the video before we were talking, the live stream before, we were talking about finding pieces for our SBA pieces, and these pieces are in particular related to writing the reflection. If it is that you're just joining and you're wondering what's going on, we're talking about the English SBA. Previously, I spoke about what is the SBA, giving an overview. I spoke about creating groups. I spoke SBA groups, identifying individual topics. I also spoke about modifying those topics. I also spoke about the 3 pieces that you will need to ensure that you find based on your topic. Now, I did not say this, which I should have said, or I don't think I said previously, is that within your SBA group, the members of your group should not have the same SBA stimuli. So, for example, if you have 4 persons in your group, for each person, each individual must have his or her own SBA stimuli. You might know it as SBA artifacts, you might know it as SBA data, whatever you want to call it. One must be print, and you can choose between audio, video, or print for the remaining 2. So if we have 4 persons in a group, then all 4 of you in combination should have 4 3s 12 pieces in the entire group. Now, these three pieces, they are individual. They should be individual pieces based on your individual topic. And as such, there should not be anybody in the group sharing SBA stimuli. So everyone needs to have his or her own SBA stimuli. Just making sure that we are all on the same page where that is concerned. If you understand, give me a thumbs up. Now, before I talk about the plan of investigation, I want to go online for a second, and I want to open a new tab. I might just go back here. I am going to, my individual topic is the causes of COVID-19, and I'm going to search. I'm trying to find three pieces, right? So I'm going to search Google, using Google, and I'm going to type in the causes of COVID and close that. 19, right? So I'm going to enter, and you see the stories coming up. Good. Now, one of the things I need to be mindful of is that when I'm looking for my three pieces, I need to be mindful of where I find my pieces. So because there are a lot of misinformation around, I need to ensure that my three pieces are from credible sites. And as such, I'm looking, and I'm seeing the World Health Organization. That's credible. I know that's credible. I'm seeing the Centers for Disease Control. That's credible. I'm seeing a newspaper right here. And typically, newspapers should have information that is deemed to be very credible, but there are times when information is presented and it is very sensational. It is not necessarily factual. So in looking at this, I need to be mindful of what I am looking at. Okay, I'm okay with that. I need to be mindful of what I'm looking at. Let me make this bigger, sorry, so you can see. I need to be mindful of what I'm looking at, because I need to ensure that whatever information that I have, it's information that it is credible. It's depending on what I'm looking for. It's factual based on my topic. And so I am going to go to the World Health Organization, right? So for example, if it is that I'm here, outbreak, and I'm seeing the various topics, I can decide that I can, here's it, right here. I can decide that I can click here, or oftentimes on most sites, there is a link, not a link, a search bar that you can click. Why is my typing is like my nails? Causes of COVID-19. I'm going to see if I can search within this site, see if I can find what I need, right? Or I should say cause of COVID-19, and I'm seeing within this site that there are a number of links that are related to what I'm doing, okay? Now I can choose from any one of these. Say for example, I choose this. I'm just saying. For example, I choose this. This is what I'm choosing. Right? And I just need to bring up something that is very wordy. I'm just trying to find something that I can cut and paste so I can show you. So I'm trying to click on a link that's going to give me like a worded document so I can show you how to copy. All right. So right at this point, we're pretending that this is from here, from the top to here, this is a document that we're looking at. We're just pretending that it's in line with our topic. What you do is that you highlight, you right click, you copy. Thought I had a Word document open. I'm going to my computer. I'm using Word 2013. And it depends on the version of Word that you're using. And I could do Control V. And some of you might be saying, why is this necessary? Yes, this is necessary because I have students who are unable to do this. Sounds weird, but it is true. And I am going here and right click, and I'm going here and I'm pasting what I found, right? So I want to take this out, so I'm going to try and highlight it and then delete it and backspace. So this is how I have copied my artifact, right? And for my reference, I might not be able to do my reference at this time, so I'm going to copy, going to the here, I'm copying right there, and I am coming back to my document. I'm right click and I'm pasting again. Once again, you can use Control V and pasting. Now, once again, your teacher will teach you how to cite the information. If your teacher does not teach you, there are a number of online sites. Teachers, don't kill me for showing your students this. There are a number of online sites. One site in particular is Cite This For Me, where you can go online and create a reference. So once again, your teacher will teach you how to do this, but in case, there are sites online that you can use. All right. With that said, I've shown you how to search for how to search for and paste into a Word document. Now, for videos, I love to go to YouTube. YouTube is my best friend. For most of you, YouTube is your best friend. So I love to go to YouTube, and I am going to go, waiting for the search bar to pop up. And I'm going to go the impact of COVID-19 on students. So I'm pretending that is I'm just using that. That's one of my topics. Whatever your topic your individual topic may be, type that into YouTube. Now, I am seeing a number of videos. Remember, I said to you, our videos cannot be too long. We don't want it to be too long. We're seeing the effects of COVID-19 on the economy. Wow, that could be a particular topic. We never thought about that in our brainstorming session. Impact on the economy. What does COVID-19 impact on the body? The impact, and it goes down and it goes out. So right here we're seeing where, and this brings me to a very good point. Right here we're seeing where we're not seeing a lot of the impact on students. So some of you might be we can't find a video, I'm going to copy the same thing into Google. Copy for me. Hate when this happens. Now it's copying. Bear with me a second. I'm taking the time to do this because this is like one of the most aspect of the SBA that kids, Miss, we can't find nothing, we can't find anything. Let's go back to Google. Go back to Google. I'm doing this way. I know I can paste directly into the bar at the top, but I want this page because some of you might see this page, right? And I'm going to paste that. I'm going to enter it. I'm going to come off this in a minute. Now, if when I paste the impact of COVID-19 on students, I, for example, I paste that in here and I don't find anything at all, right, or anything that I find suitable, it therefore means that you need to modify your topic. So for example, if you're looking online and what you're looking for, you're not finding anything based on what you need or based on what you're looking for, then it therefore means that you need to modify your topic. Just say it. And when you modify your topic, you can go again. So it's good to find your 3 pieces before you actually begin your SBA. After you select your topic, then you find your 3 pieces, so that way you're not constantly having to rewrite stuff, because you would not have written your plan of investigation yet. You would not have written your written your plan of investigation. Now I'm just going to take a random video. Say I'm going to take this video right here, and I'm going to mute it. Alright, so this is the video I want to take for, I'm going to pause it, my SBA. So this is the video. I found my video. I need to now look at how I'm going to download my video. So I'm going to go to download YouTube videos right here, right? So I'm just going to type in download YouTube videos. Guys, my computer is moving very slow because I have a number of programs on it. So I have a number of programs on it and it's making it a little slow. So be patient. Now, a lot of you use y2mate.com, and this one is pretty common. And all you have to do is go to the top right here. I'm going back to YouTube right now. See YouTube. Go to the top right here. Copy this link right here. Take it over to Y2Mate. Paste it right here. And some persons press start. In most cases, you don't even have to press start. And you realize that it is here. What I love about this, it tells you the size. Remember I said we don't want to get over 25. So one video, you realize, comes in different sizes depending on the quality of the video over here, the resolution. So the higher the resolution, the more bigger the size of the video. Another thing that I want us to note, that YouTube videos can be converted into audio. So say for example, you don't want to, you already have a video. Why is this on my computer? Okay, let me cross this. Not appropriate. All right, so say for example, you have a video and you want to convert it. You can click audio or you can click MP3. So you can convert your video into audio. So that's what I love about this. And all you have to do, say I want my video to be, I'm going to choose my video being here. You click download and it downloads, and it automatically downloads to whatever device you're using. So I have download MP4. This would be the video format, and it takes me here. Let me close this. But you realize if you're looking right here to where my mouse is, the video is downloaded to your device. So that you can have, it's saying error, but just to show you, this you can have, and then once you have your video and your print, let me go to my crap. Why didn't I just do this? You go to your desktop and you do right click, create new, have your folder, and you can have Sasha Blair. Okay, that guys, I am weird. I've created a folder. If I open my folder, let me open my folder to show you there's nothing in my folder. You can have it, let me rename this Sasha Blair, and I can have this being English SBA. That's better. Right, now once you find your video and your print, all you have to do is drag it and put it in, drag it, put it in, and in here you should have your video and your print and all your other pieces that are there. So all your SBA things should be in one folder on your desktop. Now, with that said, that is how we go on into selecting our pieces and finding and downloading and saving. Wow. let's now get into, a part of me feels like I should pause this video and just stop it here and then just make like, so the video is in different sections so that if you want, you can focus on the different sections. A part of me, let me know. I'm going to pause a second and let me know by thumbs up if you think that I should pause it, so that if you need to send the video, if you're a teacher, if you're a student, and you want to send the video to someone, you can send the video into chunks. Let me know. I'm going to pause a second. So thumbs up to let me know if you think I should just pause the video here and then we can continue, or should we? Okay, so I guess I continue. Now, remember when we started, we said plan of investigation. So the plan of investigation, now looking at it, and if we should brainstorm, we could say the plan of investigation is how we're going to go about, what's our plan for how we're going to go about investigating, doing this SBA, right? Layman's terms. Now, based on the syllabus, the guidelines for the plan of investigation are, why did you choose the topic, issue, theme, event? That should be included. What are the expected benefits to you as a student of English? How do you intend to collect relevant information on your issue, theme, topic, event, and use this in your presentation? So the syllabus provides us with these guidelines, right? I'm going to break them down some more. In looking at the syllabus, remember I said that the plan of investigation, although it's marked out of 10, those 10 marks are divided into 2 and we get it marked out of 5. So the 3 main areas that we're looking for is the reason for choosing the topic and selection of the title. And this is marked out of 3. Now, when we look, I'm only going to focus here. Your reason must be original and insightful. Very important, right? So you need to state in your plan the reason why you chose your topic, your topic, right? Choosing the topic and the selection of the title. Topic could be your theme and the selection of your title, right? Expected benefits to you as a student of English, right? And that's marked out of 3. Then, right here on the C, the proposal for collecting and use of the material, we realize that this is marked out of 4. This category is marked out of 4, 2 and 2. But this category is divided because here it says material to be collected stated. So you have to state what materials you're going to be collecting. the various sources for the possible materials, example, internet, whatever, wherever you're going to collect it, must be stated. That's worth 2 marks. But additionally, the use of the English language skills clearly outlined and clear indication of how they will be used. So in your plan of investigation, you have to state the English language skills, the comprehension, the critical thinking, all of these skills. You have to state these skills. What are the skills that you're going to be learning as a result of completing this SBA, and how you're going to use them should be outlined. And this is also 2 marks, right? So that is how our 10 marks are assigned. Please note that there is no such thing as half a mark in the in the graded. So it's either you're going to get 3, 4, 2, 1, 5, etc. There's no in between. All right, let's go. So in examining your plan of investigation, here's a checklist that I want you to write down that you need to have to make reference, right? So your group theme and individual topic, please ensure that your group theme and individual topic that's stated. Your reason for selecting your topic stated. Your expected benefits to you as a student of English stated, must be stated. Materials to be collected, and I'm going to put a S on that because you're collecting 3 pieces. So materials to be collected stated. The use of the English language skills to be used in analyzing the information, that also needs to be stated. All right, all of those. So make sure this is your checklist, taking a minute. All of these should be in your plan of investigation. And as always, we make reference to the mark scheme that is provided by CSEC. Now, once again, let me say to you that any samples that are provided, you're not expected to create a carbon copy of it. It's here for you to give you a guide. And this is not the only way to write it. Here we have a sample plan of 96 words. Remember, our word limit is 100 words. We can have 100, we can have below 100, but we cannot have over 100 words. Now here, we realize, let me see if, oh, I forgot that. Let me come out of this and go into this. Let me make this bigger so you can see. Alright, let me shrink this a little. Here, we realize that this writer started by providing the reason. So this writer started by providing the reason why they selected the topic. Then they went on to state their individual topic and group theme. Then they stated critical thinking skills that they expected to develop. Then how they're going to collect the information. So if we're looking at it and we're color coding what we're seeing, we realize that in these 93 words that a lot has been provided for us, right? However, remember when we spoke about our guidelines, that the syllabus, the mark scheme, remember that we were supposed to also look at what? Let me go back a second. Oops. That's not the back I wanted to go. Let me go back a second to here. The use of the English language skills outline clearly and clear indication of how they will be used. So, going back here, did I delete a part of this? Oh my. Did I delete a part of this? Oh my. Okay. Sorry guys. Whew. This lesson is rough. So you realize that a key component is not there. So in looking at our sample and in looking at what we're giving to our teachers, we need to look at the fact that we need to include all aspects there. And it therefore means that summary writing will definitely need to be a skill that we need to employ here. So it therefore means that we need to limit or summarize or present these recommendations, this idea, in a way that's more compact and in a way that conveys everything that we're marking for. Once again, this is designed to help in your critique of what it is that we're looking for. It is not designed for you to carbon copy and paste as your own work, right? Let's look again. 200 words. Same thing applies. The writer right here starts with making a statement, or you can start simple by stating your topic and your group topic. You decide how you start your plan of investigation. And this is what I want you to come to, the realization I want you to come to, that this is very important. I would suggest to you that you rough write sentences in order to answer these that should go in your plan, and following which then you organize these ideas into a plan of investigation. Because the truth is, I'm sure there are many formats that are being thrown around the internet, right? But at the end of the day, you're not being graded for format. That doesn't mean that you're not supposed to use sentence structure and you might present it in one paragraph. This is listed in point format because this is a PowerPoint and I did not want the ideas to be presented jumbled, but your teacher will indicate to you how to present the data, right? The important thing is to ensure that you have the points that your teacher will be grading you for. Hope that you are following what I am saying. Now I'm going to move on to reflection. Please, I'm going to give, as always, give you a second if you have any questions, a second to type, and you can continue. All right? All right, since there are no questions, at this point, I'm going to continue. Now, a major area of stress for students and teachers that is the SBA reflection. Now, the syllabus dictates that the reflection should be done in class, and I think the syllabus is dictating that because we want to ensure that, I guess I'm assuming the examiners want to ensure that the work that is provided is authentic, is 100% your work, students' work, and so that is why it is outlined in the CXC syllabus that a reflection should be done at home. I know that at this point a number at school, sorry, oh my god, that's school. I know that at this point a number of teachers like myself were very concerned about students, if not being able to do anything else, but being concerned that students are at least trying to, for grade 10, trying to complete aspects of the SBA. Let me say to you that it is of utmost importance, very important, that you go through the SBA process, that you try as much as possible to follow the guidelines that are given to you and ensure that the work that you're providing is your authentic work, because you will find that the SBA process, at the end of the process, you would have grown somehow, some way, in some shape or form if you actually do the work, right? And so we're going to go into the reflection. Now, reflection, looking at this, is a cycle, right? So you experience something and you sit and you talk about, or you look at what happened, you look at what your feelings about what happened, you look at what was good or bad about the experience, you look at what else you can make of the experience, what else could be done, and then from it, oftentimes you arrive at Rose again. What if this happens again? What can you do? So a reflection, and I wanted to share this with you so you understand that a reflection is not just a summary. A reflection is, simply put, a critical analysis of what you're experiencing, what is going on in your three pieces. You're there to critically analyze on different levels. And on different levels, we see from the CXC reflection, you're analyzing on 3 different levels. And we're going to look at those 3 different levels, what your analysis should be about. All right? Now, level 1, entry 1. Now, for your reflection, there are 3 entries, as I stated at the beginning. The total number of words for the reflection is 450 words. You can decide how you want to break those 450 words. For some students, your 450 words can be 150 words per entry, or for some students, you can have entry 1, 150 words, entry 2 can have 160 words, 170 words, and then entry 3, 130 words. So you can decide how you want to divide your words. All right? Now, the syllabus says that entry one of the reflection, you can include your critical knowledge related to the theme, how material shaped you, right? This basically means that we're looking at how the material has inspired you or affected you, the impact it has on you, what it reminds you of. So in looking at entry one, you're going to look at all three pieces of data that you have collected, and you're going to look at how each has inspired you. Two might be very similar in how they have inspired you, and so you can group those together, whereby one is a little different. It might not have inspired you or impacted on you the way that two pieces did, but it might have been impacted on you in a way that is different. And so it is good if you can have a comparative analysis. And in saying comparative analysis, I'm talking about a comparison contrast, looking at how all of them, how they might inspire you similarly, how they might inspire you differently, what are some of the things that they might remind you of. If they don't remind you of anything, fine, you can leave that alone. But in one shape or form, each item must have impacted on you in one way, shape, or form. So you have to now think about the analysis component, looking at it at the deeper level, really. And I suggest that you take some time to get this done. Don't just write in one sitting. You might write and then you might come back at another sitting and rewrite. Think about what it is you want to write about before you start writing. Think about your pieces, why you selected them, what stood out about your individual topic from your pieces, what you have learned, all of those things. So think about and start making your notations, your little jottings as to how it is that your pieces, the impact that your three pieces might have. Now, students, they've asked in the past, Miss, do we include a summary of our three pieces? You can write a brief, when I say brief overview, but remember, I started by saying the reflection is not just a summary, right? And I know that depending on your writing level, the reflection might be a struggle, but it is there to help you to improve on your writing. All right? So it's what I'm trying to say, it's okay if you don't find the reflection easy. That's normal. That does not mean that you're going to give up and throw in the towel. It means that it's a process and you take your time and work through it. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, entry 2 is the entry that I love to say it's kind of like Van Damme. There's a kick to it. And some of you are too young to know who Van Damme is. My students will know because I use it all the time. But there's a kick to it. This is the entry that requires the most analysis because you're looking at the analysis of the language. You're commenting on the use of language. And that, for some students, is very hard because a lot of them don't naturally think about the use of language. And so for some of you guys, when you think of the use of language, you're either thinking that it's formal or informal, right? We're looking at the usage of words. What kind of words, outside of formal or informal? Are there jargons? Are there slangs? Is the language technical? What is the tone? all of these things you're looking at when we look at entry 2 of the reflection, right? Now, let me go now into the use of language a little more, because this is the entry that as a teacher causes me the most stress. And I know for you as a student, you might be like, what is Miss Blair talking about? All right, so the use of language refers to the words the writer uses to convey his or her message. So in looking at language, we need to look at what is the aim of the writer. You know, what is the aim? Is the aim to, or the teacher might often say, what is the writer's purpose? Is it to inform? Is it to entertain? Is it to what? What's the next one? Persuade or convey. You have to look at the writer's purpose. And based on the writer's purpose, then that will impact the type of words, the type of writing that the writer employs to convey his or her purpose. So that needs to be something that you have to take into consideration. So one way in which we can understand the use of language is by examining the writer's tone. What does it mean when we say writer's tone, right? And the writer's tone, this is how the writer expresses his or her attitude or feelings towards the subject he or she is writing about, right? Or in his or her writing. So, what does this mean? Let me go back and do a quick recap. So on this slide, we talk about use of language. And the use of language refers to the words important the writer uses to convey his or her message. What words? So we're looking at the type of words. What is the meaning of the usage of these words? And we're looking at, when we talk about what is the meaning, we often need to look at what tone. What is the writer's attitude towards the subject? What tone is being conveyed? So you can use in your analysis of language, you can make reference to all of the above, right? Or any aspects of the above. Hopefully you're understanding. Give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. Now, in looking at language, we need to look at register. And the register refers to the formality of the language, how formal or informal the language is. Now in Jamaica, and I can speak about Jamaica because that is where I'm based, our formal language is standard English, right? And so that is considered to be the formal register, right? Now, our informal language is Jamaican Creole, right? And that is considered to be informal, but then others might argue, and that's a whole nother debate for a whole nother time. Others might argue that that language is not informal, but a language unto itself. So depending on where you are, you might have your formal language being standard English, and you might have a dialect that is spoken by the people of your country being often referred to as being informal, and that might be considered to be informal language. All right? In my head, I sound like I just repeated myself. I hope I'm not repeating. Now let's just look at how do we comment on the language. So we just spoke about formal and informal language. So here are some questions that you can ask yourself when you are looking at your pieces. Is the language formal, informal? That's a nice little question. Is there figurative language there? What images are created if they are figurative language? And then you can go one step further to say, how these images impact your understanding of your individual theme, individual topic, sorry. Next, is the language simple or is it complex? And once again, based on that, how does that impact your understanding of your individual topic? What is the writer's tone, attitude to the topic? And in all of this, you're looking at how does that impact you, all right? The reader. How does the language help me to understand? So a lot of things, we can look at it in terms of, is a language, based on the type of language used, does it aid in the understanding or does it hinder in the understanding, and why? And so you're analyzing. So remember, at the core of it, for entry 2, you're looking at analysis of language in the frame that how does the language help you to understand or impact, that's the word. How does the use of the language in each of your pieces impact your understanding of your individual topic? Good. Now, in looking at writer's tone, we look at how the tone is conveyed through the use of words or word choice, and oftentimes you hear the word diction. So we're looking at how the writer's tone, as I said to you before, is conveyed through the use of words. And if we look at an example, we look at two examples. For example, we have the dog was killed on the road this morning. Look at the use of the word killed. Look at the sentence. Versus the dog was brutally murdered on the road this morning. And I want you to look at these two sentences and look at how which one presents a stronger attitude. When we talk about the writer's tone, which one would convey a tone that is more forceful and strong and more impactful on you, the reader? And why? Why is this more forceful? What about it might be somehow disturbing for you? You're kind of disturbed, your mind stress out when you read this, and you can substitute the word dog for the man. What about this stood out in your mind that for the rest of the day this is with you, and why is it with you? So that is why we say, when we look at, most definitely most of you would be selecting the dog was brutally murdered on the road. And that for you would have stood out, as opposed to the dog was killed. And so think about it this way, that these two sentences could represent each of your stimuli. This could be stimuli 1, this could be stimuli 2. Both stimuli, they're talking about stimulus 1, stimulus 2. Both stimuli are talking about your individual topic. However, stimulus 1 presents the idea about your individual topic in a way that is, the tone is not so strong, the tone is not so forceful. But then in stimulus 2, the tone is different. Now, in your reflection, you are going to comment on the tone of stimulus 1 opposed to the tone of stimulus 2, And how does that make a difference? And how does the difference in the impact and which one stood out, and having that discussion? So that is one way in which we can have a discussion about tone. Now, in your textbooks, I know, for example, and I make reference to the comprehensive English course because I know, for example, that that book talks about tone, and I know based on my context, a lot of students might have that book or any other CSEC text. Go to the table of content and you can look up the term tone, and you can go there, and oftentimes there's a list of words that are provided that can be used to describe tone. So it's good to provide a description as to what the tone basically is, right? Now, going back, I'm sorry if this part seems all over the place, I'm sorry. So we have expository, narrative, descriptive, persuasive. A lot of times, depending on our topic or the type of writing that you might use is expository, or the type of writing you might find is quite expository in nature, and therefore this type of writing provides information, or it might be descriptive. It depends on what you're going for. Please remember that each type of writing, for expository, it informs. For narrative and descriptive, it entertains. For persuasive, it convinces. Convinces, persuade. So each type of writing, the writer's purpose is in line with the type of writing, and that is an easy way for you to really and truly look at type of writing. So in reviewing the review of use of language, we look at the use of language. So emotive language can be used, descriptive language, figurative language, and we can look at the narrative voice. So emotive language can appeal to the emotion, and if we go back here, persuasive writing can be very emotive in nature. That could be one type of writing that can be considered very emotive in nature. Descriptive writing, of course, you have descriptive language. Along with narrative writing, you have descriptive language. Figurative language can be found in poetry, it can be found in stories, it can be found in descriptive and narrative writing. The narrative voice can be found in descriptive and narrative writing. So when you look at the use of language, one of the key things is also to look at the type of writing, that your piece is. That way, you're able to have an idea of exactly what kind of language am I looking for based on the type of writing. So that is something that might be very helpful for you. So the idea, guys, is to make entry 2 as easy as possible for you, right? Now, when you look at diction, use of language, use of words, you need to look, we spoke about formal and informal before, so that is why I didn't put it again. But the use of jargons, use of slangs, whether the language is literal, denotative, or it's figurative, connotative, you need to look at all of those and the impact as a result of all of those. So we're coming to the end of the analysis of the use of language. It is a lot. My recommendation is that after this video is finished, You can come back. The video is going to be here. You can come back and you can watch this as many times as you would like. And you take your time to process the information that's being provided, because I know it can be a lot. And some of these terms are not familiar with some of you students. Additionally, I suggest that any term that is used that you're not familiar with, write it down and do some additional research. That can be very helpful as well. And as always, there are nice and simple, easy YouTube videos that speaks about jargons, that speak about so many of these topics that will further break it down for you. So that can be another source of help. Now, finally, remember we talked about the different levels of the reflection. Entry 3, and before I say anything else, I'm going to say entry 3, it is supposed to be done as the last thing in the SBA process. Now, some students love to be very smart and try and do entry 3 before they would have completed all the other aspects of the SBA. But the truth of the matter is that entry 3 is the nature of entry 3 is that you're supposed to be reflecting at the end of the process how much you would have grown as a result of the process. So you're not going to be able to provide an adequate description, that's the word I'm looking for, an adequate representation of how you have grown if you did not go through the process in writing this. So you're going to be doing this disservice to yourself if you try to do entry 3 before the recommended time. Now the CXE says in this entry, your personal value and benefit you have gained as a result of the SBA process should be clearly identified. That is what CSEC says. And to further break that down, I'm just going to say, you're going to state how your sub-theme topic has helped you to become a better person, to shape your attitude, how you have grown from this entire SBA process. That's the aim of entry 3. Entry 3 is the easiest entry to write to me, because you would have had an idea of how you would have improved. And for some of students, they might say, no, I haven't changed, no, I haven't improved. Then you need to put that and put why. Why is it? Why is it after going through all of this, you would not have grown, you would not have changed? What were the circumstances? So, remember once again, I'm leaving you this, a total of 450 words for the reflection. I've said it before, but I'm saying it again. For some students, they might have 150, 150, 150, or if you have 160, 140, 150, that's up to you. You decide how you want to present, the presentation of, no, not the presentation, the allocation of your 150 words. You decide your allocation of your 150, your 450 words. You decide your allocation of your 450 words. You decide. The important thing is that overall, your reflection should be 450 words. Now, the end, this is not everything. There is still the oral presentation and the group report, but for now, this is where I'm ending today. As I stated before, I've been a little reluctant in talking about the SBA because I know there are kids who they have a tendency to just copy everything they see wholesale. And that is why you're going to realize I did not put a sample of the reflection. What I'm going to say to you is that you take the time and you just start writing. You have your guidelines, what each entry should be about. You should just start writing. For this SBA, you have to understand that this SBA is not about writing it once and that's it. This SBA is a process. So you write it once, you edit, and you make your corrections. You go through and you ensure that everything that you have written, it's in line with what your teacher is marking you for, and you're covering based on the guidelines that are provided by the syllabus. Once again, a copy of the syllabus is on CSEC site. I think it's cse.org, along with a breakdown of the SBA process. It's also there. You can go there and you can download it. If there are no other questions, I'm going to give you guys a minute. If there are no other questions, then I'm at the end of today's lesson. This will be completed and uploaded to Facebook. You can share with persons who need it. There's the first part of the SBA presentation is also on the page. No question? Going once? Twice? Please note too that I'm having difficulties uploading these on Facebook. Not Facebook, YouTube. If I'm able to, I will. And that link will be shared as well. Bye everybody. Have a great day, great morning, great evening. Whenever you see this, keep safe. Bye-bye.